Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something that might seem counterintuitive. Why I release both paid and free versions of the same game. You might be thinking, isn't that just competing with yourself? Well, stick around because there is actually a solid strategy behind this model and I'll break down the downsides and the benefits of this type of model. Before we dive in, let me give you some context. I currently have two games on Google Play that use this dual release model. Why only two? Because these are complete games with 4 to 5 hours of solid gameplay and defined ending. And I feel it's fair to charge for that level of content. My other games have less content or aren't finished yet, so I don't feel right making people pay for them. This strategy used to dominate mobile gaming until the industry discovered something else. Now this approach might seem a bit old-fashioned, because it kinda is. The free with ads versus paid used to be a common model in mobile gaming, especially in early 2010s, but it's largely vanished, especially among big publishers. So why did the industry move away from this model? Well, the market decided free wins. The overwhelming majority of users won't pay upfront even 99 cents when there are free alternatives. Once free games with in-app purchases became the norm, paid versions started dwindling downloads. Users expect games to be free now. But here is the real kicker. Publishers realized that the freemium with IAPs model is far more lucrative than the old one. Instead of charging $2 once, they now use what's called the whale model. 95% of players pay nothing, 5% pay something, but that crucial 0.1 to 1% spend a lot, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars, generating the majority of revenue. This wouldn't work with a fixed paid version because you'd cap your earnings. The ad integration has also evolved. Games now use rewarded ads, watch to get coins or extra life, instead of annoying banner ads. This feels like a part of the gameplay loop, and users opt into them, so they are much better tolerated. From a business perspective, having two versions creates fragmentation that's bad for metrics and marketing. They are splitting your ratings, reviews, SEO performance, and analytics. Publishers prefer a single game that can be dynamically monetized based on user behavior. But here is why this model still works for small indies like me. It's perfect for games with a clear ending that target a niche audience and want to offer a clean, ad-free experience. Some developers now just offer a remove ads in a purchase instead of separate paid version. Same idea, but less fragmentation, but I do both. Let me show you the real numbers. My game Endurance has made over 49 grand with this approach, but the most surprising part isn't the revenue. Let's start with the biggest advantage. The free version works both as demo and a marketing tool. But here's the key. I promote the paid version right from the start of the free game. Players know immediately that there is a premium option available, and they can make an informed choice about which experience they want. The free version is actually slightly harder than the paid one, not much, but enough that players who get frustrated with the difficulty or annoyed by ads have a clean path to a better experience. It's like built-in upgrade funnel. And now let me be honest about numbers. My paid version don't get massive daily downloads. I get around $10 per day in the normal periods. But here's where it gets interesting. Every 30 days I run a 1-week sale, and that's where the magic happens. During those sale weeks I'm pulling in $80 to $100 per day. Those sales weeks aren't just about immediate revenue boost, they also dramatically improve my App Store rankings, which helps me with long-term visibility. It's become a predictable cycle that I can plan around. Let me give you some real long-term numbers to put this in perspective. My game Endurance earned over $49,000 within the period of 5 years, with 76,000 of installs. That's roughly 65 cents per install, which is actually pretty solid for a premium mobile game. My other game Ailment has generated $7,100 over 2 years with 14,000 of installs, and it's about 51 cents per install. And here's the interesting comparison. My free version of Endurance got over 1 million of downloads within 5 years. And by the way, if you haven't seen the video where I break down the numbers behind 1 million of downloads, go check it out. To see how much revenue it got in comparison to the paid version, the numbers might surprise you. These aren't get-rich-quick numbers, but they represent steady, predictable income from games that continue to sell years after release, with zero ongoing marketing spend. Here's something that might surprise you. The managing both free and paid versions isn't the nightmare you might expect. I built everything as one project in Unity, and switching between the paid and free versions is literally just checking or unchecking a single checkbox. One code base, one set of assets, one development pipeline. This setup means I'm not doubling my development time or maintenance overhead like you might think. The heavy lifting happens once, and then it's just a matter of different build configurations. Different players have different spending psychology. The free version attracts players who are okay with ads and might make occasional in-app purchases, but the paid version attracts a different mindset entirely. Players who want a clean experience from the minute one and are willing to pay up front for that guarantee. There is a fascinating psychological aspect here that I have noticed. Players who chose the paid version aren't just avoiding ads, they are avoiding the entire free-to-play ecosystem. They don't want to worry about whether the game will become pay-to-win later. They don't want to calculate whether watching ads or making purchases is worth it. They just want to pay once and know they are getting the complete fair experience. This is huge. When someone downloads my paid version, they are mentally committing to the game being worth their money. They're more likely to actually play it, rate it, and recommend it. And now here's the part that might change your mind about trying this. Here's something crucial I should mention. This strategy only works on Google Play. The App Store doesn't allow what they consider duplicate content or very similar apps from the same developer. Apple's guidelines are much stricter about this, so if you want to use this dual release approach, you're essentially locked into Android only. This cuts your potential market in half right from the start, which is a significant limitation, especially in markets where iOS has higher revenue per user. The biggest downside, this model only works on certain types of games. I've only done this with 2 games because they are the ones that I felt confident charging for. This means I can't use the strategy for experimental games, quick prototypes, or ongoing live service style games. It really only works when you have a finished substantial product. Having both free and paid versions creates an interesting problem. Players often compare them. Free version players will sometimes complain that the paid version exists at all, feeling like content is being held hostage. Paid version players occasionally wonder if they are missing out on the progression system or social features that free-to-play games often have. You're essentially serving 2 different audiences with 2 different expectations, and sometimes those expectations conflict with each other. So is this dual release strategy worth it? For the right games, absolutely. But the key word is right games. This only works when you have substantial, complete content that justifies a price tag. If you're an indie developer, I'd recommend trying this approach only if you've shipped a few free games and learned what constitutes a complete experience worth charging for. Don't feel pressured to create paid versions of everything, only do it when you genuinely believe the content justifies the price. And that's my take on free versus paid strategy, and if you agree with me or not, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.